good afternoon, depending on those time zones. My name is Eggs Benny, the keeper of lore here today. But what is a keeper without their players? And I'm joined by four of them, potentially five later. But starting in the bottom corner, we have our man of the hour. How you doing, Valdez?
Hello, everybody. It is your friendly neighborhood Ness, and I play the Vampire Warlock Valdis, who is currently passed the fuck out and on maybe like 1 HP or something or other. Just, waiting to open his eyes to the glorious world and maybe stab somebody just for fun.
Well, maybe aiding you in the stabbing is our man with the knife, TS.
Hail, I'm Dusky B. I'm playing the young little kid who's T.S. Starbane, who is currently sleep deprived, sitting next to Valdis, just waiting for him to wake back up.
Okay. We then have the twins. But who wants to fight for that pole position?
Hello, hello. My name is Artemis. Or Nura Nightingale. I will be playing Aurora Rose, the Osmer Paladin, twin number one.
Hi everybody, my name is English Ray and I play Austra Rose, the Isomar cleric, who right now is thanking all the gods that Channel Divinity comes back at a short rest, because otherwise I wouldn't have been able to heal Valdis last turn.
Of course, we have our elven sorcerer, Saya Sombra, who isn't able to join us tonight, but hopefully will still have an impact in this story, who knows. But to catch up everyone and to remind our players, our adventuring party have been escorting Irina Koilanovich to the town of Valaki in the midpoint of Barovia, nestled in a valley. The town itself seems nice enough. They seem to be preparing for a festival, a celebration to be happening in a couple of days. After moving backwards and forwards through Barovia, fighting hags, introducing themselves to the local Vistani, and then settling themselves in at the local inn for the night, everything ramped up in the evening as Valdis is mortally wounded by someone who appeared to be an ally, potentially even a future lover. His body is rapidly brought back to the inn, where as much healing could be done in one go. Left bleeding on the table, Valdis's life is technically hanging in the balance still. The air around the tavern grows cold as bats begin to swarm into every visible window and trying to get down the fireplace, thankfully blocked by Owen. Taking a little bit of initiative, Azazel goes outside and is met by a gentleman who introduces himself as Strahd von Zarovich. He claims that as long as you give him back his book, he will leave you alone. And that's what Azazel does. A little bit of party unrest as Azazel doesn't immediately admit that it was Strahd outside, and when he does, everyone is wondering why he's still alive. But after multiple shifts taken over Valdis's body, a long rest is had by all, apart from TS, who specifically stated that they were going to stay up and watch Valdis's body.
Don't like how you called it a body.
Valdis,
Hmm.
you have the stiffest back that you have had in a while. Like, you can feel that, like, you've slept funny. Your bed doesn't feel incredibly comfortable. And that's when you wake up and realize that you're not in bed. You're lying face down on a wooden kitchen table.
The first thing that he would do would be to fucking panic. So he would probably shove himself like up off the table and probably fall off the table, to be honest with you.
That's fair. TS is part of your night vigil. You see Valdis falling off the table.
Are you okay?
He kind of like doesn't register that it's you at first. He's kind of like scrambling to stand up and like put his weight on like anything nearby to stand up as he kind of like holds his chest and like looks around the room very rapidly. He kind of takes notice of you finally, and you can see his his shoulders sag a little bit, where the initial like spike of fear and panic has kind of gone away. And he kind of looks down at himself, you know, making sure that he's decent.
You are decent because Danica made the effort to pull your trousers onto you. But you are aware that even then, you're going commando right now. You're not wearing underwear. Someone has literally like just pulled your trousers up over you.
He sees that he has pants on, and he kind of sags a little bit in relief. Is he kind of walks over to TS and like, I guess in the most like uncharacteristic you've really ever seen him, he just very softly like pulls you into a hug. He kind of like cradles your head into his shoulder as he just gives you a very gentle but firm hug. You can kind of feel his hands trembling a little bit. He's definitely trying to hide it, but he's shaking.
We'll take that as you're doing okay.
He kind of lets out a very like humorless huff through his nose. Well, I'm alive, aren't I?
Jumping in, Valdis. Yes, you are alive, but I think even your body is telling you how close you were to death. Mechanics-wise, you have a -1 penalty today to everything. Ability checks, attacks, saving throws. You were on the brink of death.
Holy crap.
Where is my HP sitting at the moment?
You have full health. You have had
Okay.
the long rest. You've leveled up with everyone else, and you are at full HP. But that penalty needs to be remembered just for today until you take a long rest.
Got you. Okay. Yeah. Kind of that mirthless chuckle, and he kind of pulls away from TS and kind of like keeps his hands a little bit on your shoulders, and you can kind of just see how weary he is. like minus the smudged makeup, he looks like a walking corpse. So he kind of like sends you a smirk that doesn't really reach his eyes as he just gives your shoulders a squeeze. I'm all right. I'm fine. A little bit of a scare, but I'm here. And I need to sharpen some knives.
All right. Yes, we'll pull away for a bit and then walk upstairs.
Just a note for everyone, because I realised that looking at the schematics for the inn, I actually gave you all an incredibly bad description. So the only way that you can go up to your rooms, the rooms that you have purchased, is through the door connected to the outside stairs. The stairs that are in the tavern lead up to the Martikov's, like, private bedrooms.
So to get to our bedrooms, we need to go almost outside.
No, you have to go outside the front door and then up
Right.
the outside stairs through that door, and then you can get to your personal balcony.
Fair enough. But I'm not doing that. I'm not going outside.
It is daylight now.
I'm not doing it.
You also could just try and nestle in one of the booths outside into the tap room.
Fair enough. I will do that.
So I guess the real question is, are you planning on sleeping the time that you've missed?
No.
Okay.
I'm not planning on sleeping the time that I missed, just waiting for everyone else to get up.
When Valdez fell off the table, did that wake up the others that were in the room, which I think is Aurora, Alstra, and Saya? I think are the ones that
Yeah.
are left in the room.
Make perception checks with disadvantage.
That's an 8.
So Austra's still asleep and will wake up naturally.
You kind of cut out at the end.
Austra will wake up naturally.
Okay, I will let you cue that then.
Well, I guess technically it's up to Valdis and what they then do with the rest of their day.
Yeah, Valdis will definitely kind of like seeing TS go off to bed, seeing that everybody else is asleep. He'll kind of just sit back on the table with his head in his hands and just process everything that has just happened. 'Cause it went fast. Just sits. I almost died. Oh my fucking god, I feel awful. God, I feel awful. My limbs hurt so bad. And just kind of like, I'm gonna kill him. If I ever see his stupid fucking face again, I will kill him. I will rip his fucking throat out with my teeth. Like, going through inner monologue, basically. And like, we're in the kitchen, right?
Mm-hmm.
He would definitely go and see if a like pail of water or if a like basin is there.
There's definitely a basin.
Try to like clean himself up.
There's a basin, but you're gonna have to get water from the well outside.
Sad. Okay. He kind of just like takes his water skin out and pours a little bit of it in the basin and kind of just uses the water to like splash his face and just feel the coldness, trying to ground himself, basically. Being like, I am here and I am alive. Definitely kind of just taking his time with it. He's not rushing or anything. Everything fucking hurts. After, he would probably look to see if his bag is there, because he would definitely want to put his normal clothes on with his armor.
Yeah, your bag was there and picked up.
Yeah, he'll definitely grab his bag and kind of like set up a little like corner, I guess, where he'll just very quickly change into his like sleep clothes. So he's not like in, what do you call it? In a very like stiff set of pants. And he'll kind of wait to see, I guess, if anybody wakes up. And if not, then he'll change into his actual armor.
I'd say just timing wise, that they don't immediately wake up with you. Actually, no, Saya would be potentially waking up first. No, she took the first 2 watches, didn't she? Yeah, so she's waking up with everyone else. I'd say that everyone begins to wake up naturally as you're putting like the final like belt buckles and straps onto your full attire.
Okay. Then, yeah, he'll kind of just clean himself up a little bit. And as everybody's waking up, he'll kind of just go back to the table and just lean on it and just wait for everybody to wake up, get all their reactions out of the way so he can explain everything.
You're awake? You're okay. Oh, thank Suni. Thank Madame. Thank them all. How are you feeling? Are you okay? That's a stupid question. But hi.
He definitely gives you a little bit of a small, sincere smile. And he kind of like chuckles a little bit under his breath. Well, I feel like death, so to speak. Everything hurts. And I am severely dehydrated, and I have a massive headache, and my chest is killing me. But I am alive. Barely.
Immediately gets the water skin out of my own bag and hands it to Valdis.
He kind of like jolts a little bit, like in surprise. And he'll like gently take the water skin from you and just take a swig and hand it back.
Take as much as you need.
I mean, you all look positively frightened. Did you miss me all that much?
You're really gonna ask us that?
You can see him kind of like shrug and kind of like hiss his teeth, just like I'm trying to lighten the mood.
I know, so was I, but this isn't working. Yes, we would have missed you. Yes, we did our best. And I am so thankful that it
You
worked.
can kind of see him like, it's almost a bit robotically kind of like pull himself together, where he stands how he usually does with like one hip cocked and his like arms crossed over his chest, like, well, I am eternally grateful for that. You have quite literally saved my life, and
Not just me,
I,
it's also Aurora.
well, then
She
both of you.
she neutralized the poison, and then we both did as much healing as we could. Speaking of which, I need to check your bandages.
You just
And
see him blink. Poison? There. Oh, for the love of God.
yeah, it was. I'm not gonna sugarcoat this because I don't think that's gonna help any of us. More so you. It was really bad. There was poison. There was obviously where you were stabbed, and it pierced things.
He kind of just raises an eyebrow, kind of like a little bit of a no shit look on his face, but he doesn't say anything. He just waits for you to continue talking as he like starts unbuttoning like the side of his shirt.
And this whole spiel is gonna be said whilst checking incision wounds and like the oh cripes words bandages and all that kind of stuff, and making sure everything's like okay, and if anything needs to be changed out she'll probably do that as well. It's
Yeah,
like
like,
yeah,
how
it
does it
was
look?
it I'm not gonna lie, we were kind of focused on making sure that he stayed alive than we were with scar maintenance. I'm sorry, um but I'm gonna do my best, and so's Aurora. But it was really bad. Like the knife went through organs, and I think Madame may try to give me a message again.
He kind of he kind of
No, I'm
like
working on the back ones here.
he kind of shakes his head a little bit, like internally, like I guess she has a new favorite? Question mark. Kind of like I wonder where this is going to go. As he kind of like smiles and chuckles and like, well, at least she knows who to go to save my ass.
I'm when I say message, it wasn't like an actual message with like words, but it was a feeling, and it was just heal him. It was just that I had to heal you. I had to do something. I had just anything I could do to heal. Turn around. Like again, she's like making your hands. You can check all the bandages. It's like it was just the same. The whole feeling of just you still need to do some healing. You haven't done enough, and it was horrible to think I had done all I could. I had nothing else I could do, and it still wasn't enough.
He
But turns
kind
out
of
it was.
he kind of like hears the kind of desperation in your voice as you talk, and his shoulders kind of slump a little bit as he kind of, once you're done fiddling with the bandages, he'll kind of take your hands in his and kind of bring them, like tug them a little bit so you look at his face, and then he'll give your hands a squeeze and just, well, thank you. I don't know how you did it, but you did. And Aurora as well. And I am eternally grateful. And I owe you a very big favor. So, if you ever need anything, either of you, he looks to Aurora as well, just let me know. After all, I still have that dress to make you. He gives you a bit of a wink as he kind of lets go of your hands and kind of builds up his persona again.
I try to hold onto your hands a little bit longer.
He'll let you.
Please be careful. I don't want to have to do that again.
You see his smile kind of crack a little bit. And he kind of gives you a uncertain look. He's a bit confused. And he kind of just nods to you and just a little bit more like solemnly. I will try my best.
I will. No, you go, you go, you go, you go.
I can make no promises, but I promise you there will be no more late night trysts from now on. That is firmly off the table. As well as men. He just rolls his eyes.
Little laugh at that. Um, I will. I will always try my best to have everybody's back here. I will do my best to make sure you're all safe. But last night showed to me how much and how little I am capable of stopping certain things. I am scared because we know nothing about this place. And honestly, we all thought you were going to have a nice time. And it was almost your last time. So I will do my best to protect all of you and to have your backs. But we all need to be vigilant. And I think we all need to look out for each other. And I think it's a safe thing to say that we, assume the worst, but hope for the best. That's what he says at the temple, right, Aurora? I can't remember which teacher said it.
I believe so. I can't either right now.
You're very, very quiet. I did not hear any of that.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Moving mic closer. Is that better?
Yes, that is miles better.
Awesome. I believe so, though I also can't recall who said it right now either.
I think it was that member of the Rose. I can't remember, but be vigilant, have each other's backs. Assume the worst, but hope for the best.
Val kind of is definitely a bit taken aback, not in a bad way, but more of just like this is the first time he's really seen you this upset, obviously. Um, and again, he'll kind of give your hands a bit of a squeeze and just, I don't think this was anybody's fault but my own. I broke protocol and thought maybe this would go right for once. And obviously, we know how that went. But I promise you that I will try my best, just as you are, to keep everybody safe. To keep myself safe is another ball game that I am working on. We're getting there. And I slipped up a little bit last night, but we're all trapped in this together, whether we like it or not. And from the looks of it, we are the only others, I guess, that we can rely on. I agree. Regard everybody with a bit of suspicion at first. Keep each other safe. And I hope that we can get out of this alive. It kind of gives you a little bit of a soft smile. And he'll kind of like very awkwardly just like, is it alright if I give you a hug?
I would really like a hug. I just didn't want to hug you in case it hurt.
He kind of huffs a laugh through his nose as he kind of pulls you into a very awkward but gentle hug where he's like trying to rub your back. Like he's trying to be comforting, but it's very jerky and like maybe goes a bit too fast.
You're not a hugger, are you?
I've never really done this before.
Well, I imagine they're like hugging as this is happening, so this is like really bizarre. Take a deep breath and then like sigh with your whole body.
He kind of just, well, all right. And he just lets out a very deep, frustrated, just, ah. Uses his whole lungs, well, as much as he can.
I think we healed them. There's no holes in them, you're fine. It's like, okay, you see how your body's now relaxed? This is how you hug. It's nice, it's relaxed.
He kind of just like, you feel his hair move as he kind of like nods against your shoulder.
It lowers
Okay.
your blood pressure.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Can also help with anxiety as well. Like when you're feeling like really anxious, the best thing to do is to have people just hug you and compress you. And something about that makes a person like go calm. And then they kind of like sort themselves out, but the pressure helps.
Interesting.
Hmm?
I've never heard of that before.
It's true.
When are you supposed to let go? Or do you let the other person do that?
I kind of been waiting for you to cue when to let go.
So it has to be like a mutual thing?
Yeah, hugs don't usually go on this long. People don't usually talk during them either.
Oh. Apologies. He kind of just like pulls away and
It
very awkwardly, like, scratches the back of his neck.
it's fine.
I well, thank you, for being my teacher, I guess. I will take your constructive criticism into consideration. As he kind of just like very awkwardly like dusts, quote unquote, dusts off his armor as he's just trying to look busy to avoid feeling awkward. Now, other than me dying, what else have you all been doing?
Well, when we got you back, we saw that there was some like bats outside, like a lot of bats, like a swarm of bats. And apparently Azazel took a book from the hags, and then that book actually turned out to be Strahd's book. And then apparently like Strahd came and Azazel spoke to him, and then he got the book back because he wanted the book. And Azazel didn't want to tell us that he spoke to Strahd.
Val just blinks like for a solid couple seconds, and you just see his mouth like slowly drop open, like, so, well, let me get this straight. While I was fighting for my life, Strahd came to say hello.
He came to say he wanted his book back.
He kind of just like puts his head in his hands. You can see him trying to massage his temples. He's just like, oh my god, I swear this can't get any worse. I just, ugh. Okay, please tell me that everybody's okay.
Yeah, I think we're all okay. Like this place went on lockdown.
At least people were prepared. Okay, so nobody died. That's good.
TS was. You were with Azazel, right? When he spoke to Strahd?
TS isn't in the room.
Oh, okay. My bad. I thought he was still in the.
He's off in a booth right now.
Okay. I think TS was with Azazel, so maybe he might know more details.
I mean, we could always talk to Azazel, considering he was doing the talking and all. Just get as much information as we can. Did anybody read the book before we had to inevitably hand it back?
I'll give you 3 guesses who read it.
You just see him sigh. It was Azazel, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right, all right. So, do we just move on? It's not like we can go storming up to his castle or anything. What do we do? He kind of blinks as he remembers he didn't actually tell anybody what happened. He kind of looks around the room. Okay, this might be a little bit of important information. So, I got stabbed and was intended to be a sacrifice to Strahd.
I'm sorry, what?
So, things were happening a little bit fast. Everything was fine. We had a marvelous dinner. Fed each other sweets, all of that. Everything was fine. I didn't I didn't suspect anything. Until I got stabbed in the back, well on the ground, a little bit preoccupied. And before I passed out, I heard him. Arigal is his name, if you want to curse it to the high heavens.
We'll curse it. We'll also, find him, kill him, make it so his name was never in the history books.
Oh, I do believe we might have to go through the entire Vistani encampment to do that. He cares very much about his family, so I don't think they'll let him go without a bit of a fight.
Mm.
But anyways, as I'm losing consciousness and all that, and bleeding out and, scared, I hear him whisper in my ear that I will be, quote unquote, a great sacrifice for the great king. Along those lines. And then I passed out, and I thought I died. And I was going to be a very angry ghost. But I'm alive. And I bet he did not see that coming. So, maybe showing my beautiful face off to the encampment when everybody's all settled in and we're all rested up and have everything all set, then maybe we can, I don't know, take some limbs. Just as a treat. Sorry, I got a little bit angry there. But sentiment aside.
As I told Saya last night, actually. The wonderful thing about being what me and my sister are is that we can break bones, set them, and break them again.
I love some good old-fashioned torture. It is one of my favorite hobbies. He kind of bats his eyelashes and flips his hair a little bit as he says it. But that's after we get the record straight. I still would like to know exactly what happened with the whole Strahd debacle and how we move on from this.
I think the best thing then is probably for all of us to go talk to TS. Get what information that we know, and then maybe talk to Azazel.
That's probably the best idea. Get everything sorted out. Save judgment for later after all of the information has been collected. Then we'll set out and figure out what to do. I do hope you know I'm not going to be much help today, so I apologize in advance.
Yeah, I kind of assumed, since the drastic measures we had to take. But, we will do this. We can do this.
I believe knocks on the table that he was just on. Knocks on wood
it as well.
Hopefully everything will be fine. I pray to every god that will listen that everything will be fine. That we just need to bide our time and figure out how to be smart about this. And stick together, maybe. Buddy system, not go off by ourselves anymore. I think is probably a very, very good idea.
Mm. I think a buddy system would be a very good idea too. But I think breakfast, a chat with TS, and then a chat with Azazel.
Mm,
Okay.
that is probably the best in order. I need so much coffee.
Aurora,
Yes.
do you think they do pancakes here?
I don't know, but pancakes sound wonderful after last night.
With like blueberries and strawberries?
Strawberries with cream on top.
Oh, that sounds so good.
Oh, a drizzle of caramel as well.
It's almost like we're twins.
Aurora will, at that, basically just she's gonna go look for the innkeeper and his wife. Just like, I want food now.
I will pick up my bag and my water skin because I'm assuming it was just left on the table. Pick up everything, put it back in the bag, head into the main part of the pub tavern to find where TS is and get breakfast.
Yeah. Val will definitely be a little bit glued to your side.
Okay.
He's definitely like a little bit lost puppy-esque. He kind of just follows you wherever you're going.
Okay. Do we see TS?
TS would have set up. TS would have set up at like one of the booths. Threw his sleeping bag over the top of it, made a small fort. Sleeping on the inside.
Oh my
Yes.
god.
I see that you're sleeping. Like, okay, let's let him sleep. We'll have breakfast.
It's more just laying down underneath it.
Okay, I go over to check on TS to see if he's asleep.
It's not.
TS,
Yes?
are you wanting to go to bed?
No.
Do you want breakfast?
I'm good for right now.
Can we join you at your booth fort?
Mhm.
Okay. I
TS was
think
pick up and just start dismantling the fort so it can be used as a table again.
and we're all gonna have a little bit of a chat. And then we're all gonna talk to Azazel. And then we're gonna see where the rest of the day takes us.
What would we talk to Zazel about?
Strahd, the book. His blatant disgusted us.
Are we going to be able to trust Zazel about what he tells us, though, about the book?
I don't know.
He is our only first-hand source, after all. Even if he does embellish the truth a little bit, we can still glean information from him. And with you, kind of just nods his head in your general direction. You can fill in the bits that might be a little bit left out or don't seem right. We'll figure it out from there.
Don't have the full pictures up.
Bless you.
And
Also, TS, that was very quiet.
I don't have the full picture, though. And from my standpoint, I don't think we can trust Azazel. I think he might be working with him.
Val kind of raises an eyebrow. Okay, don't get me wrong. I don't like him. But if he was working with Strahd, don't you think he would have given up Irina to him earlier? If he was. He had a fantastic chance. I mean, before we even got there, he knew both the siblings could have broken in, stolen her, given her up to Strahd, and it would have been fine.
Yes. Counter argument. He said the book was about Strahd. He tried to keep it secret that he was giving it back to Strahd. Heck, he didn't want to tell us he was talking to Strahd.
It is a tad fishy, I must say. But, playing the devil's advocate, as I usually do, what if it was just not to make anybody panic? Inn full of people, terrified, monster right out the door. I mean, I would have done the same. Pulled everybody into a little room in the corner and say, hey, this is what just happened. And I did the only thing I could to save us. Might have been a move that will shoot us in the foot later, but we're alive now. I'm not saying that's what he did, but that's what I would do if I was in the situation.
I think what TS is getting at is that, okay, he may have done it for all the right reasons, but it's the fact that he didn't even want to tell us why, even after the fact.
That is a tad suspicious. I agree it's probably best to keep him at arm's length, keep an eye on him, type of thing, but, what else can we do, really? I mean, I was never really trained for this, so I don't really know how to exactly handle a mole situation. I mean, we can't exactly tie him down and hit him until he gives us answers.
No, he's too slippery for that.
Even if we did, I don't think he'd give us the answers that we're looking for. Find a way to buy time and blink out of existence, like he usually does.
I'm just not sure how much merit we can give the answers he's going to give us.
Well, short of me finding a pulse on him and checking it while he's giving his answers to see if it increases to show that he's lying, I don't really think there's anything we can do. Oh, Zone of Truth.
Uh, question, DM. How close is Aurora to all of this, to hearing this conversation?
I mean, assuming that you left with the group from the kitchen to go talk to TS. You never said that you weren't.
Okay. Yeah.
I would have made sure that all of us were around the table. I thought Aurora was ordering pancakes and then coming back to
Okay.
sit down and have this conversation
Yeah.
with us.
I was just making sure too, because the last thing I did say was she was going to find to go order pancakes, so I wanted to make sure.
Oh no, that's fair. The trip would have been a pretty quick one because you don't see any sign of either the Martikovs or their children.
Okay.
In fairness, this is the earliest that you've ever been down to like get stuff, and considering the kitchen was kind of taken over, you get the impression of like, oh okay, like they're either still in their room, still upstairs asleep, waiting for later in the day, whatever it may be.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know everyone everyone seems to think of me spending time with Azazel, but so far as him not wanting to speak about what happened, could it perhaps be because he knows that nobody here trusts him? Except perhaps me. I seem to be the only one that has any sort of faith in him. If he knows he's not trusted, why would he say something and risk everyone turning on him further?
Because he knew he was doing something wrong. The moment he met us, the first thing he told us was to not trust him.
And yet he's stayed with us.
It could be
Well-
because we're the newest people here. Strahd doesn't know us yet.
And also, we could just be his meal ticket to the next town to make sure he survives.
And then the thing is, why travel with him if you all clearly do not trust him? That makes little sense in the scheme of things. If we're going to travel together, there should be at least some sense of trust.
Yeah, there should be. There exactly should be that, Aurora, but yet he decided to leave us in the windmill.
He didn't leave us in the windmill.
I agree. He did pop back in and keep telling us to leave, but he never fully left himself. He left the building, but he didn't go very far.
Okay, I'm confused. Are we wary of him? Are we attempting to find some good qualities so that we feel better about traveling with him? To pseudo trust him? Well, what is it that exactly we're wanting here?
Well, personally for me, I want information. Even if it is from an untrustworthy source, it is still information that we can glean the truth from. Even if it's not fully true, it's still better than nothing. We can hypothesize, we can gather information ourselves to fill in the blanks, whatever. But information in any form is power. We need to know what happened. Then we can just move forward, take our next steps, discuss it, what we need to do. I agree that he's not the most trustworthy of people. Case in point, just waves his hand at TS. I agree. First thing he said was to not trust him, and I don't. But we still need to know anything that happened.
Perhaps the first step of that happening, though, of him telling us more, would be to actually not be so openly hostile towards him.
Why do I feel like that's aimed at me? Not hostile. I just don't trust him. So I keep him at a distance until I can figure out what the hell he's actually doing.
I mean,
understand.
TS has a pretty good reason to not like him very much.
Yeah. And is that also not a good reason for us to again be incredibly wary of this man? He picked on a child. No offense, TS. I know you are very capable. But he picked on a child.
And also when very sternly told that this isn't a joke, that this is actually impacting somebody, and to please give it back, he stood his ground. Seems a bit like an asshole to me, but it takes one to know one. I think the best course of action is just to keep an eye on him. As much as we can, really. And not put all of our eggs into one basket. I don't think he is pure, unadulterated evil condensed into a person, and I don't think he's a saint. We don't know him. We can't really tell if he's a good person or not. The most we can do is trust our guts and our instincts, but to also try not to take him at such face value. I know it doesn't make a lot of sense, but people wear masks all the time. Sometimes it's to protect themselves, and sometimes it's to get something out of other people. We don't know if this is even his real name. We don't even know who he really is. But he has information that we do need, whether or not we like to admit. And
Oh, no, he has information and he is very useful. He knows the area, he knows the land.
Val kind of just like shrugs his shoulder and like puts a hand on his cheek and like rests it against his knee. If we want to kick him out, then go for it. And if we don't kick him out, then that's fine. But we do need to make a decision. We don't have a lot of time.
I don't think we. Oh, I don't think we can afford to kick him.
Quite personally, I enjoy his company. And when I said the group that the rest of that most people here are hostile towards him, I mean more in the sense of your dislike of him when he is around is not particularly hidden. I know if I was around someone who treated me in a similar manner, I would keep my guard up as to what I said and did as well. I've already done so in certain aspects.
Val kind of just shrugs. I understand, but also behavior that he has displayed warrants the type of feelings that people have towards him. And yes, maybe some things could be a little bit more civil, but that also goes for him as well. A relationship is a two-way street. Both parties or multiple parties involved have to be on the same page, have to want the same things. And so far, it has not been clear whether he intends to stay with us, if he views us as allies, if he views us as just vehicles to get from one town to the next. We don't know. And without sitting down and asking and getting clarification and having conversations, this is going nowhere. We're going to talk ourselves into circles and give ourselves excuses and get nothing done. So if we can't come to a conclusion, compromise, then I'm going to get information myself.
All I'm simply trying to say is, once more, that perhaps if people here wish him to open up more, then perhaps expressing a little less. I lost my words, but the only wording that comes to mind is again perhaps being less openly disdainful. He's willing to speak with me and tell me things.
I'd say two things.
Val kind of...
Oh, go on.
No, it's fine. I was just gonna say, Val is just like, I've already said my piece. You know what I think about the situation.
I'd say two things need to happen at once here. So I need Valdis to roll me a wisdom saving throw, please.
Oh, fuck. Alright.
And then all of you would hear the front door to the tavern opening. It is a very obvious, like, old, creaky, double wooden door, so there's no stealthing around it. And
I got an 11.
Yeah, and you see Azazel walking in, and Valdis, there's that twinge in the back of your brain where you almost physically tick. There's like just seeing Azazel and talking about placating this man that you don't necessarily trust, but also the stress that you've been under for the last night. You need to feed.
Mm.
You're surprised it's taken you this long, but you need to feed.
His eyes will definitely kind of glaze over for a little bit, and he'll kind of sit back up. Well, time is ticking.
You okay?
He kind of looks at you with a bit of a strained smile. With everything going on, I do say I'm a bit thirsty.
Do you need more water? And we got our odd juice.
Well, there was no one down to take our orders, and we did somewhat
Oh,
over their kitchen yesterday night.
we should probably clean that. We'll clean that in a bit. Did you finish my water skin? Do you want the rest of it?
You can see there's a little bit of like an involuntary eye twitch. I will be fine, thank you.
Do I twig that he's on about a different kind of thirst?
Not necessarily.
We did see him lap up blood in the slaughterhouse.
I mean, yeah. Make an insight check.
Okay. Non-natural
Holy
20.
shit. Okay.
Yeah. It's the inflection on the word thirsty. Like, at first you were there like, oh yeah, like thirsty water, and then you remember who Valdis is, or what he is. And there's that strained, pained look in his eye that admittedly you've never seen before because you've only ever seen the aftermath. But he looks high strung. He looks fidgety.
Gladys, will you come and help me in the kitchen for a second?
Well, of course, you only have to ask.
I lead Valdis into the kitchen, and then if you want to carry on with that other scene that's taking place with Azazel walking through the door, go for it.
I mean, in fairness, what you all see is Azazel coming in. He sees you all, sees that you're having a conversation, and nods, but just heads over to the bar, like seemingly to wait for someone to take his order.
Aurora will go join him. Looks like no one's down yet. The kitchen got taken over a little bit last night, so I think they're getting some time to sleep in today.
Oh yeah, I remember, but don't want to interrupt your guys' conversation over there. It looked pretty serious, so I figured I'd just come over here and not help myself to something, though I did consider it.
Well, as far as the conversation goes, it was basically finished anyway. It was just among other things, a game plan for today.
Fair enough. How was your night?
Long. Like, reaches up to rub, like, a crick in her neck from how she slept. How about yours?
Frustrating, but I got some shut eye nonetheless.
That's always what counts, at least, right? Can't do anything here without having a good night's sleep to focus and think.
Oh, having a bed in general is nice. I've gotten used to sleeping on floors, the streets, sewers, so having a bed typically helps.
You can see she's curious, like opens her mouth and just like, okay, no, not right now.
You can ask her. I already told you I'm an open book.
No, I just wanted to ask where just the how, the when, and the why of sleeping on floors and the like.
Oh, I needed to make money for college, and it wasn't going too well, and I lost the ability to be able to afford it. So I found something I was good at. Apparently, it wasn't college. um, and yeah, it kind of was just unfortunately a toss of a rock, and the rock kept on falling and falling and falling. And fortunately, there's consequences for the actions that you have. And well, you run with a group, you go into hiding, you can find some pretty interesting places to hide and sleep.
I suppose that makes sense. What? I'm I'm s- knowing what I know about you, I cannot picture you in an academic setting. What were you going to study?
Take a wild guess. I bet money you won't get it.
You're very likely right. Uh, Wizardry.
He goes in his pocket, takes out a gold coin, and slides it over to you. I guess I owe you money.
She just looks at the coin, looks up at wait, seriously?
Yeah, I wanted to be a mage. With everything I wanted in my young age. I wanted to know the marks of magic. I wanted to unlock secrets to be able to help society, become an advisor, the whole shebang. That was the dream back then.
It's a good dream.
Yeah, it was. But dreams change.
So, what's the dream now?
All right, let's see if I can get my gold coin back. I'll give you three guesses.
Hmm. Well, I wager you will get your coin back. Um, to survive and leave Barovia?
All right. What's your second guess?
To run a thieves guild one day.
And a third.
Um, well, as my brain has nothing else left at the moment, family.
All right, I guess you earned a silver for that. It's just some could say that you're partially right. Some could you can keep the gold. Uh, some say that will bring that, but I don't think that's the subsequent of it. No, just I want to be happy.
In a place like this, that seems like as good a dream as you can ask for.
Should be the only dream. But uh, let's keep the gold coin. Maybe it'll bring in some sort of luck that has to mind. But what's the plan? Or am I shunned and am no longer allowed to be in the know?
She will pocket the gold in a noticeably separate pouch from where she does keep the rest of her money. Uh, well, so far, all we have is to talk with TS and then you about what happened last night. They also think it would be a good idea if none of us goes anywhere alone.
Smart decisions. Seeing that the cook is no longer in the back, how about I whip all of us up something, or do you think they're gonna think I put poison in it?
Well, if it's something they're worried over, I can detect poison.
Well, hopefully it doesn't come to you wasting your skills for something like that. But sure, all right, I'll go make everyone. You tell everyone just to chill here. I'll make up some scrambled egg, waffles, whatever else I can find. We'll see how this goes.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Hmm.
She will head back over to TS's table with like little thumbs up and just this like bright happy smile like well, he's we're gonna get some breakfast.
Guess he's just gonna look at you, and look back at where Azazel you walked up to.
He's going into the kitchen. Austra and I are there.
Yeah. That's gonna be an interesting scene.
So in that case, then,
You guys in the kitchen right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna walk in and be like, well, I guess I'm late to the party.
So, Austra, why did you pull me to the back of the kitchen in the first place?
Well, I was gonna say while they were having their conversation, we'd have had a different conversation.
Well, I'm about to walk into the middle of it, so let's go.
Okay, how do we quench this first?
Well, he kind of just like his whole entire body kind of sags as he kind of leans against the table. Well, preferably blood, but raw meat is acceptable, just not my favorite.
Okay, that makes things a little tricky.
Usually, I would go off on my own and find a rabbit or something, but I feel like my skills aren't exactly the sharpest at the moment. And I don't feel
No.
like accidentally killing somebody's livestock and having torches and pitchforks thrown at my face, so.
Okay. You see, like, she wants to ask a question and then she keeps thinking about it. And she goes through and it's just like, ah.
I mean, I'm sure there is a butcher in town. Or,
Is
when...
that
Sorry,
gonna
go
be enough? And like, blood doesn't keep on. That's gonna be all coagulated.
You see him kind of like scrunch up his nose a little bit. I mean, listen, it's better than going into a frenzy and killing an innocent person. So I will take it.
Okay, I'm just gonna ask this and it's gonna be super, super awkward. Um, what if you bit me?
He kind of just blinks at you.
You need blood. It seems like a difficult thing to kind of get and not stir up the masses.
Well, it doesn't have to be a bite. If you want, if you're more comfortable, you can always like make a
Putting
wound.
into a cup feels worse.
He kind of like He kind of like shakes his head a little bit, like a very amused smile on his face. I mean, listen, I don't want to hurt you, and I'm pretty sure getting
Oh,
bitten
I mean,
hurts quite a bit.
me cutting myself isn't gonna hurt.
Listen, I don't know if I'm going to be able to stop is the thing, and I don't want to kill you.
Again, not how much experience is this, but and I don't know how this works, so I'm just gonna come out and ask it. And I'm sorry if it's a rude question in advance. Are you that thirsty?
You see him kind of like wince a little bit.
I'm sorry. Okay, clearly that was a bad question.
No, it's fine. I haven't had anything to drink since we've met.
You haven't had anything to drink since the slaughterhouse.
That was a little bit of a emergency situation.
Okay, let's find a cup.
I promise this won't become a thing.
Needs must. Okay. So,
Make an
Fine.
investigation check for me.
the 13.
Okay. You do find cups, crockery, bits and pieces. You also do. Okay, so you do also find that there is an area of the kitchen that is essentially like set aside for like pantry storage. And inside there are slabs of raw meat that have been prepared into like steaks.
How mad are they gonna be if they go missing?
If we pay for it, it'll be fine. Like, completely out of character. As long as we pay for it, I don't see what's different than ordering a steak. Just extra, extra rare.
Because we don't know if he's gonna make like a huge like steak stew or something. And then we'd have taken the meat and we'd have put him out. And then he has to go and get more. And maybe there isn't more. I don't know. How much is that meat worth? It's not a question I thought I'd be saying.
That is hilarious.
Quote book.
I mean, to be fair, Aurora was planning on leaving like a little bit of money to pay for breakfast too, so.
If you're really that worried about it, then we'll leave it alone.
I just don't know what he's got planned for it. And I don't know how hard meat is to come by in this place. Because God knows fresh fruit is.
And we'll stick with the cup plan. Just make sure you warn me so I stop breathing beforehand. Because if I smell the blood first, it might be a little bit of a bad time for the both of us.
I mean, if needs must, and it does happen. I have a fire spell. Don't want to use it, but I will if I have to. Okay, all right. I grab a cup. I pull my sleeve up a bit, and hold your breath.
Val will just kind of turn his back to you and stop breathing.
I guess I cut myself and bleed into a cup.
Okay. So
Is that a dagger damage?
it is. So you take
Okay.
5 points of piercing damage.
5?
The difference, however, is that you have had to, at the very least, cut a vein to fill a cup. Because there's a difference
Okay.
between just cutting your palm and letting him lick from whatever purled upward and trying to pour blood into a cup. And I'd say that's when Azazel walks in.
Oh, for crying out loud!
Of fucking course.
Azazel?
I was trying to think of many things I want to clean, and I have cut myself. And instead of getting the blood everywhere, we've decided to put it in a cup.
What? Can I
can't
turn
find clean
around,
bandages.
please?
Hold on. Do I see? I see
So
her,
this is-
like making up an excuse.
yeah.
Do I just see them salivating?
So this is what you see, Azazel. There is a bloody knife on the table. And then there is Austra just stood pouring a vein out into a cup. So it's not like some accidental thing. She's nicked a vein. And then Valdis is off in the corner. And in fairness, Valdis as a person doesn't need to breathe. So they don't look suspicious in the sense like they're not holding their nose, they're not puffing out their cheeks or whatever else. They're just stood off in the corner. Which
I'm
again...
literally like nose in the corner. I'm not looking either.
Yeah.
Just to be safe. So I'm just in a fucking corner wearing a dunce cap like, can I look?
Okay, so I mean, I heard of kinky things, but this is slightly different.
Told you I was cleaning. Just tried to grab everything, and the
No,
knife.
you are a horrible lot. Look at, you nicked yourself in the vein, and you decided to hold a cup to it. I'm
It was
sorry.
better than getting it all over the table and all over the floors.
There's a towel right there. Literally
That
put you a
has
towel
his-
right next to you.
That has his blood on it.
I just blink at you.
Is this where I have to roll deception and he has to roll insight?
I'm sorry. Tell me what world where you cut yourself and instead of trying to stop the bleed, you put a fucking cup to it.
I mean, technically, by the logic of D&D, this would be the deception plus insight check.
Alright, that's fine. I feel like there should be disadvantage or advantage on this.
I mean, oh no, this is definitely a disadvantage for Austra, because this is a fucking dodgy situation that we're in right now.
Yeah. There's a fucking... You got a cup to him. Oh. Alright, let's see. Nat 1, please. Nat 1 right here, right now. Nat 1. Ah, darn it. I wanted a 1. I wanted to lose.
Yeah, Azazel, she's lying, but you can tell that there's, like, a reason behind the lie. Like,
Yeah.
you can see that, like, she's not doing it to just be flippant.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna make some... What was I gonna make? I was making waffles. So...
If you want to appease my sister, make pancakes instead.
I was going to appease my hunger, but I guess I could do that. So, pancakes
trying
it
to be
is.
nice.
Alright, I'm going to turn my back, and you guys, whatever that is, keep it up. If you need a Band-Aid, let me know. I'm
Oh. Somewhere in this mess, I will find a clean bandage.
Yep, no, you fill that cup up, girl, and enjoy it. And I support
Shut up.
whatever it is you're doing.
No, you don't.
I don't know what it is, but I'll support it as long as you're okay with it.
You see
wanna
Val
insight
just
that.
like... Val is kind of just in the corner, and you can see his shoulders shaking as he's trying really hard not to laugh.
I want to
Like,
insight that, like, him
what?
supporting what I'm
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. Hang
Sure.
on, roll it. I'll roll it. I'll roll this to the DM.
So, insight from Astra.
That's the 23.
Yeah. Astra appears to be telling the truth.
You guys keep doing. I mean, I can come back. I was gonna cook while you guys do it.
Just don't tell me, sister.
Okay. I
I
wasn't
mean,
going to.
considering she already knows, I don't think knows about the whole situation, I should preface. I don't think it'd be that strange.
Situation. Okay. Well, I will get back to making pancakes. You too.
Yeah, just shut up and make your pancakes.
I want to. I will. Thank you.
Just please tell me when you've stopped the bleeding.
Yeah, that might be. You might want to. It's overflowing right now. You might want to stop. It's
not overflowing.
It's filling.
It's not.
It's okay.
I'm looking at it with my fucking eyes, Azazel. It's not overflowing.
What's that on the ground?
That's his blood from last night.
I disagree, but that's fine.
Okay. I fill the cup. I then immediately apply pressure so that it's not bleeding anymore.
You should probably just heal yourself and get it over with.
I'm going to. Just don't want to really use a spell, but I also don't want to use my healing hands. So I guess it's just, yeah, it's gonna just be a cure wounds on myself then.
Also, TM, I don't know. I don't have no cooking background, so let's see how much I fuck up these pancakes.
Mm-hmm.
Do I see that you're failing at these pancakes?
No, because
not failing yet.
you are concentrating on dealing with Valdis right now.
Yes, I get to make.
I can smell burning.
I mean, yeah, but he needs to roll first. Let's see if he
What do I
burns
roll?
things.
Let's see.
So, Azazel, because it is cooking without a recipe, then yeah, I'll say that's survival.
All right, it's gonna be flat. Let's do this. Yes. Yes.
Okay,
That one.
so the for the stream, that's that one. So the problems start even before baking the batter, because you don't see this, Austra, because you're dealing with your wounds and dealing with Valdis, but the batter is just wrong. Like, it's not a pancake batter.
Here's a stick of butter. All right, we gotta add some sugar. Here's some orange juice. Here's some apple juice.
You don't see
I'm doing
this.
this on my own. All right, you know what? So yeah, TS likes orange juice and apple juice. We'll put a little bit of both of that. Let's put a whole bucket of the sugar in it. Oh, now it's kind of dry. All right, hold on. Beer. Put a little bit of that. It'll cook out the alcohol. It'll be fine.
Yeah? And then you find one of, like, the flat iron griddles that are used for searing the steaks.
Perfect.
And you get a ladle, and you just begin pouring the batter into the hot iron griddle.
Perfect.
And admittedly, it doesn't smell off at first.
I cook it perfectly, but I don't cook the right thing.
Well, there's that thing of, like, you do cook the first one for a bit too long.
Yeah.
But that's the thing of, like, oh, I'm getting used to this batter, I'm getting used to this new pan, new stove, you know, not my kitchen kind of thing. And in fairness, I think even Alstra and Valdis at that point, after sorting yourselves out, it is the thing of, like, oh, okay, like, yeah, fair enough, you always fail the first pancake. So sure, we'll let that one go. But then every pancake after that is a version of overdone, too raw to even, like, you should have kept it in the pan longer and somehow you managed to flip it out. And then even the ones that look good are few and far between.
I will take all of them out on one big platter and be like, breakfast is served.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't see him make all these pancakes and then walk out with them, do we?
Oh, no, yeah, you definitely see him, like, make some of them.
I am so proud.
Azazel, before you leave the kitchen.
We.
Before you leave the kitchen,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do you a song. I'm gonna cook the pancakes and then you can take the credit.
But
'Cause
this is
clearly-
one with mine.
They aren't pancakes, honey.
These are a creation that I have made.
No, that's poison.
No, I didn't put poison in it. That's over there. I'm pretty sure that's rat poison. I didn't put that in it.
Sweetie, let me help you.
Well, because he called me sweetie, fine. But no blood in it. I don't want blood in mine.
I just show my arm and it's complete.
It's fine. I still support it. So if you want to put it in some of them, that's fine, but I'd rather not have it.
I want to say, as all of this is happening, Val is just gonna be off in the corner with his little cup of blood, like, just, I can just imagine the fucking, like, Astarian meme of just, like, cat licking at the blood.
I make the pancake batter. I actually show Azazel how to make pancakes. That is the wrong kind of pan. Like,
Pain.
that's the wrong kind of one.
Alright, I'm learning.
And I get the right pan.
That's all I got wrong. Got it.
The recipe as well. Like, I literally like take you through like the recipe and how to make it properly, and then I show you how to cook it and how to check and how to flip. Like I do, you know, the typical like flip to drop.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah. So I also do that. It is clear that Alstra is not a stranger to the kitchen.
Well, after all is said and done, like the whole time he's been focused and listened, and you can see him taking kind of mental notes, whether they're going to retain or not. You can see him trying. And when you're kind of done, he usually goes, "All right, you know what? When you're right, you're right. I know my strengths, I know my weaknesses, and this was definitely a weakness."
Okay, my sister likes strawberries,
Mm-hmm.
so let's see if there's any of them.
Why are you helping me?
I figure this way, I don't tell about the pancakes, you don't tell about the blood in the cup.
I wasn't going to talk about the blood or cup in general. I said I was supported that. I didn't wasn't going to talk. That's your guys' business.
And to be fair, Azazel, looking over, you see Valdez, like, drinking from the blood cup.
Cup, yeah. Although, like,
Because he's not being being subtle about it. He's literally just sat there drinking from the cup. So it's like, oh, like you like put two and two together.
I'll put it. I look over. I'm like, this is your guys' thing. Like, I don't judge this. Are you kidding me?
This is literally just happened this once.
Okay, and
Listen, I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'm doing this, and Austra so helpfully offered to help, so I don't hurt any innocent people.
well, all right, hold up, real quick. Like, everyone, take a quick second. There's zero judgment here. Like, I'm a little confused right now. Like, this isn't my business. You guys are doing something, okay? It's you guys is doing something. Neither of you. I mean, besides obviously pleading, neither of you were looking like you were getting hurt. You guys look like you were being safe, and it's none of my business. And I give no judgment to either of you for whatever it was, or if you needed it or didn't, or if it was just an experience. You guys do it. You guys do your thing. If you want me to be included, I'll listen. I'll put. You good? So, zero judgment, zero concern. We are 100% a-okay. So, no, you don't need excuses. You don't need to explain yourself. We're great. So thank you. I appreciate it. But we're good.
Um, thank you.
Yeah.
Val definitely kind of just stares at you in a little bit of shock and kind of just blinks. Well, I mean, I won't look a gift horse in the mouth. Thank you very much for understanding the circumstances.
Yeah.
Okay, so you go find some strawberries. I'm gonna make a simple caramel sauce because I think that might be a little too
I'll try.
advanced for you.
You're good. Let's just grab some strawberries, grab some pancakes. I'm not looking to impress. I'm looking to make us breakfast. And I'm feeling we're going to have a very
But
long chat.
this
So,
is gonna earn you brownie
I,
points with my sister.
hey, hold on. I don't know what happened last night. I appreciate it. You're good. I don't. Not that brownie points are a good thing, but I'd rather earn it. Does that make sense? This isn't me
Okay.
earning. This is great. This is a bonus. You're helping me, but I'm not doing the work, and I'm not earning what we may or may not want between me and her. And I think that's important. I shouldn't be skirting by or making falsehoods of things to get something that we may or may not want.
Okay.
But thank you. I
Just say
appreciate
you
that.
did it together and it was a group effort. Everybody's happy.
Um,
Yeah.
I was here as moral support and a pretty face.
The pretty face with the cherry on top. All right, are we like
if
you finished that? I'm gonna get
if
everyone else
you
fed.
if you do want any cooking lessons because you do want to try and impress my sister, just let me know and I'll help.
I appreciate it. Maybe yeah. We'll see. Let's see what life brings us, and we'll go from there. Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome. All right, you two finish up what you're doing. Uh, take as much time as you need. I'm gonna go get everyone else fed, and then we'll go. We'll take the start of the day as we need to, and then
Just
get a
tell
pot of
him,
coffee on.
just let him know that we were just cleaning the
Sure.
kitchen.
I'm not gonna say anything unless they ask me.
Please, please, please don't tell them.
I wasn't
Val
going
kind of
to.
just raises an eyebrow at Austra, like,
I
I'm
already. Go ahead.
I'm a bit confused.
Mm,
Maybe this is me having a little bit of a lack of social understanding, but everybody already knows about me. You know, the whole lapping blood off the floor kind of does trigger a little bit of, oh, that's not normal in most people. So I'm very confused as to why you don't want anybody to know.
it. Maybe I am just overthinking it then. I don't know.
No, I genuinely, I'm having a little bit of trouble seeing your side of
Um,
it, so I just want to make sure you're all right.
s- I know what I did was a good thing because I helped out a friend. And I know it helped you, and I'm happy to do it, and I would do it again if you ever needed it. Hell, you could literally bite my arm if you needed to. I don't know, maybe it's like Sunite guilt of, not damaging your body, kind of. I don't know. Maybe it's just guilt.
Um,
Or maybe it's just me worrying what my sister will think.
you need to stop that.
Stop what?
Stop worrying about what other people think. Doesn't matter. Who cares? If you care, that's one thing. But
I don't know why. It's. You ever do something that you know was good, but you still feel a little bit guilty about doing it?
absolutely.
I mean,
Yeah,
I've
so why do I feel guilty for doing a good thing?
Because you probably had a voice in your head that someone else put there.
Yeah, something about bodies, temples.
Sure.
I mean,
So
I think I kind of pseudo said fuck that when I cut my hair off.
yeah, the voice is still there.
I hate the voice.
Yeah, they stuck, don't they?
Hmm.
So work on it. You'll get through it. The voice will turn into yours, and hopefully it'll become uplifting, and you'll move on.
I'm sorry if this made you feel bad about this. I really didn't mean to.
you kind of just see him like what me like internally just like I mean I I do feel a little bad, but
No, I don't want you to feel bad. Like, this was fine. This was absolutely fine. I don't know what.
Val kind of just like puts a hand out in front of him like stop talking.
Mhm.
I understand, and it is monumentally appreciated. I do not have the words to speak of how grateful I am. But if this is the reaction and it makes you this upset and uncomfortable, we're
That's
not
the
doing
thing.
it again.
I'm not really upset. I'm really not. I'm kind of happy I did it because it helps you out. And I'm more than happy to help you out. And I said this earlier. Actually, this also applies to you, Azazel. I said I was going to have everybody's backs. And I was going to do my best to protect them. And I'm doing that.
Yeah, but all right. To help in this situation, Valdis, how often do you need this?
Well, it varies a little bit, but out of game, it's like once or twice a week or once every 2 weeks, something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Essentially, it is a wisdom saving throw brought on by stress or triggering scenes such as a lot of blood, viscera, gore, that kind of thing. And depending on whether Valdis passes or fails the saving throw is whether he gets triggered. So we could go, technically, like months.
Val will kind of like wiggle his hand as a like a so-so motion. It is very dependent on the circumstances. Impacted a lot by stress, and if there is blood, viscera, and gore in the area, definitely doesn't help.
All
But
right.
unfortunately, it's not a cycle, if you will. It's not very predictable.
It's
But
not a
most of
monthly
the
cycle,
time,
got it.
I'm able to handle it quite fine. But circumstances as they are, I'm not exactly my best, and I don't think I'd be capable of catching animals at the moment. So,
Well, if it makes anyone feel better, next time you can just ask for me because I have no issue with it. I'm not saying that you do, Alstra, but they're like this aftermath isn't good for you, so I can assist with that. But honestly, as of right now, you've
I'm honestly
eaten,
fine. I don't know why. I was worried about. I guess it's just. My sister worries about me a lot. And so I
and you worry about her.
worry that she'll worry.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
there's also
I,
probably a little bit of trauma in there as well.
every time.
I mean, I'm fine doing this. I really am.
So then let's eat some pancakes.
Yeah, they're getting cold and they're better warm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna take that like the plate full of pancake and walk out and be like, look what Alstra made, everybody. They look fucking delicious.
He
Eat 'em.
helped.
Aurora's gonna do just like a happy little, essentially like, you know, the girly, very light, excited clap. Yay! They look and they smell amazing.
Well,
I
it was all her. Everyone dig it. I'm gonna like, take a step back. I'm gonna go like wherever the boiling water would be to in like coffee grounds, whatnot. I'm gonna go in the back and make that.
Easy enough done.
Yes, is not partaking in pancakes.
I didn't make them, TS. The
Does not
earlier
believe
ones, I would also not eat.
He's gonna pull a ration out of his bag and just start eating that.
Wimp.
TS. It's true. I made them. So if you want to eat a pancake, go and eat a pancake.
I'll be fine. Thank you, though.
Okay.
Well, you have the tavern all to yourselves, as no one else seems to be around in this morning.
Val would definitely take a little bit longer to come to the table. Just make sure that everything is fine. And just like make sure that his hunger is all good. Everything's fine. And he's also going to kind of pull his armor back a little bit, and he's going to try to look at his chest. Because he literally has not seen it before. He kind of just blindly put shit on. So now that everyone's left, he's definitely going to peek a little bit.
And I'll let you choose whether this is satisfying or not. But with the power of healing magic, there isn't even a scar.
Awesome. All right. So no scar. There's no blackish veins or anything. It looks fine.
Yeah, poison was neutralized, so there's no effects of that. Other than the skin being a bit tender. Like when you actually physically touch the area that it punctured.
Val will kind of just like, oh, thank the gods. As he just is like, I was so worried it was gonna be fucking ugly. And he just puts his shirt back down, smooths it out, and walks to the table.
While everybody is. No, never mind.
Well, I do have something to say. If everyone is able to listen and eat, or if TS is willing to come and listen. I don't know if you're within earshot or not.
I mean, if you talk loud enough, he'll be able to hear you.
No, fair. I believe I owe everybody an apology for last night. Probably assume that you guys don't like the way I handled it, and in the past, that's typically the way I handled it. I didn't want people to freak out, and thought that was the best way to handle it. And being that, no offense, TS, you are still a kid, mature one at that, but you still are one. We got a bit frustrated when you wouldn't listen. Possible danger would ensue, especially with Eldest already down and out. So I apologize that my actions were not in the way that you all wished for me to have handled them, but I did do it with the highest interest. Whether you guys accept the apology is completely up to you. I can't make it, you can't force it, but there it is.
Val would definitely give a nod. I understand the amount of stress and the panic and the quick thinking that must have gone through your head. And I understand that it was a very panicked situation and that it could have ended very badly. But I, for one, accept the apology because I would have also done something similar. So, I see no fault, except for maybe a little bit more communication, but that goes for everybody. It's alright, at least in my book. As Val takes a small bite of a pancake.
I'll give you a nod.
Aurora, while she's eating, doesn't really say anything, but has a small little, like, almost like an "I told you so" look that lasts for like a handful of seconds. It just goes back to eating.
What does TS look like right now?
Tess is not paying attention. He's listening, but he's not giving Azazel any peace of mind. Not
Okay.
looking in his direction, just focusing on the meal that he's eating.
What about Alfred?
Sorry, I was writing notes. Um, yeah, she looks at you and I guess, yeah, she's like, okay. Clean
Again, you
slate.
guys don't have to accept it. This went way easier than I thought it would. I expected to be grilled and scrutinized. Anything under the sun.
We did it without you in the room.
Oh, yeah. I knew you guys were going to be talking about it this morning. I just didn't want to.
I mean, I would still appreciate to be filled in and given details on what happened. But nobody died except for me, but that's not important.
Mm. You didn't really die.
Very
We got you.
close.
Sure. What do you want to know?
What was in the
So,
book?
well, that, yes, but what was in the book, why it might have been important, and what exactly happened with the whole bat swarm, because I know it must have been a lot. Very
Mm-hmm.
high-powered vampire and all. Just
Um,
as many details as you can remember.
when it comes to the book, it was about him. About him being a warrior. How he came to settle in like Bogorovia. He had a brother, like named like Sergey, something like that. Which I mean, that's cool and whatnot. But Strahd had his eyes on a girl, and he was like, girl, that's who I want." But that girl was like, "I don't want you. You're like, I don't know, like a brother to me." Nah, she wanted his brother Sergey. Her name was like Tatiana, something like that. I don't know. But that made Strahd kind of pissed. At least I'm pretty sure it was about Strahd. So he didn't like that at all. So I think he killed his brother. No. He made a pact with something of like great evil or something like that. I don't know. He didn't really specify what it was, but he made a pact. Assuming that's kind of what made him like what he is now. Killed his brother so he could be with this girl, which, complete logic in that, right? She obviously didn't like that because, that's not what you do. It's kind of a little bit stalker material. So she flung herself like off a castle. Body was never found. Don't shove a branch through his heart. Probably not going to do much. Oh, and his brother had a cursed sword, or he called it cursed. I don't know. And he in Strahd resides under, or below, or beside something like that of Castle Ravenloft.
Well, that was definitely not what I was expecting, but interesting nonetheless.
Kind of like a diary.
I was just thinking that.
Mm-hmm. What was the other question? I'm sorry.
No, no worries. After getting... What happened after the bat swarm happened? How did the whole speaking outside with him happen?
No idea if it's true. I heard like they can't come in unless you invite them. Probably a myth, but I was locking everything up, making sure everything was kind of locked up before whenever you arrived because you know scary shit. And I looked out, and there was a man. And I'm like, I know that guy. Don't remember why I knew him, but I knew him. So I kind of creaked the door open, and he started coming towards over here. Got real weird. Figured out who it kind of was, and he wanted the book, and he was trying to look past me. And I'm like, no, 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 no. We got TS, we got you in there, and everyone else. So I put myself outside because dumb as I am, thought that was better. Went out there, and I'm like, yo, you're not gonna do anything because I may or may not have your book. And he goes, yeah. I'm like, no, I don't believe you. I'm like you're gonna go away if I give you the book that I may or may not have. He goes, sure. So I'm like, all right. So I went back in, asked Alstra for where the book was. She told me where it was, ran upstairs. TS did not like that. Ran upstairs, I told him to hold back, didn't want to do it. So I told him, all right, close the door behind me and stay behind it so he doesn't know he's there. So I get up downstairs with the book, I get outside. TS does decide to lock the door behind me, which makes it fairly obvious that door did not lock itself, so somebody else was behind that door, and Strahd did not, me and him didn't kind of agree on there being more of just us. So I wasn't sure I was going to send him off, and again, TS being a child and all. I gave him the book. He said, we'll be in touch. Did not like that at all, and he bamfed away. Miss anything, TS?
Not give any response.
There you go.
Sorry, the book mentioned a brother?
Yeah, Sergey. Or Sir K.
Wait.
He's dead.
Shh. He dwells with upon his blood seals his tomb, a brother of light snuffed out too soon. That's what Madame Ava said. She mentioned a brother. But she also... Because you found that book in the mill, right?
Mm-hmm. I saw that. No, yeah. And the tippy top. Oh, I did
Yeah,
ask him.
she said, a lonely mill on a precipice. The treasure lies within.
I will
And
say.
she said that was
Okay.
knowledge that will help us better understand our enemy. So, if all that's right, then we need to find a neighbor tree atop a hill of graves, because there'll be treasure there. And ravens can help us find it.
Well, there was the stones by the windmill that we didn't check out. But also, Azazel was trying to say something.
No, I was just saying that he is not in league with the hags, but like he's not against them either.
Sorry, too many things were going around in my brain. I had to get that. Is
Yeah,
it where
pretty
to
much what I
Madame
got.
Davis? Anybody else find that out that what Azazel's telling us is kind of lining up with what Madame Ava's cards were saying?
I mean, it's a bit of a toss-up. Sometimes clairvoyant people are a bit of a sham and they just want your money. But considering she knows things about us that we've never said to other people, yeah, this kind of shakes out. And because you weren't there, kind of points to Azazel. My little date tried to sacrifice me to Strahd. So, just putting that
Sexy.
out there.
Well, is Strahd known as the Great King?
Oh no, he's muted.
Maybe. Probably. Yeah, I'm gonna go with yeah.
All right, well, I guess best course of action is to find the tree? Or do we go after the bones first? I think the bones are a little bit more important because that's what's protecting so many people. We've got ourselves in a whole lot of shit, don't we?
That's if you decide
Well,
to pursue any of this. You could just live like everybody else.
I personally would like to go back and go home. I have a little bit of a guild waiting on me, and if they think I died, that's going to cause a lot of problems. I know Saya, for one, also needs to get back, has people waiting for her. I don't know about anyone else, but just kind of motions towards the twins, like, you both were heading somewhere. I believe it was for green grass, but I could be wrong. And I'm not so sure about TS. Bit private, that one, but you know.
I'm gonna look at TS like if I don't know if you're looking at me, but I give you a look of like you haven't told him yet.
He's not looking at you. He's listening to the conversation, and he's now just kind of the look of potential anger is off of his face. It's more now just more of a somber sadness.
Fair enough. Well, where are we off to first? It's a bright and early. We all have smiles on our faces. It's a great day. Astro made pancakes. You are looking fabulous for almost being dead last night. What's first?
I mean,
Val,
we had the choice. Oh, sorry, go on.
I was just gonna say Val lets out a snort at that.
Well, we have the wine merchant to sort out because they're still not getting their delivery. There's the bones for the church. And then there's the hags, but I think we want to hold off on that.
Do something easy and work with the what?
Wine
If
could
I
work.
might, if I might
Oh, he speaks.
suggest,
Please.
we probably want to do the bones first to have a sanctuary.
That I do agree with. I think finding the bones should be our top priority, because if we don't, something potentially happens. That's a lot of people. That
I'm alright. I'm also alright with doing the wine situation because we do owe it to the owners of this establishment. They have been helping us. But then we do need to move our guest. It's not safe in this town.
agreed.
I'm pretty sure you have to ask her first if she wants to be moved. Isn't this where she wanted to be put?
Didn't we already have this conversation with her last time?
I believe we have.
She said it would be better to go back, because this isn't as safe as her brother thought it would be.
Yeah,
Well,
essentially the conversation that you had last night was that you wanted to ask her opinion. She said that she didn't feel as safe here as potentially intended. So then it was the case of, all right, then where do we go? And the only other place is the village further off to the west.
Isn't that where Saya wanted to go anyways?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So, course of action. Bones first, at least. This is my opinion. Anybody could say otherwise, obviously. Bones first. Then we do the wine business. Then we say, thank you very much for your stay. We appreciate it. And then we take our guest and go possibly somewhere safer, while also getting Saya that scroll that she's been after. And maybe along the way, we'll find this tree, considering everything else is played out a little bit too perfectly.
I'm inclined to agree.
I don't have a say in this audible. Just if I am still allowed to follow you wherever you decide to head off.
You get a vote too.
Well, my vote's your guys' vote.
That's a cop-out vote.
100%, but it's mine.
Yes, is that all right with you?
He's muted and pouting in the corner at the moment. Sorry.
That's fine.
All right. I do have to say, I'm not going to be in the best of shape today. So I do apologize in advance.
You do you, boo.
Well, I guess we go back to the... Was it this the Abbey, or was this the church? I think this was just the church, right?
The abbey is in the village off to the west.
Okay, cool. So we head off to the church and we put our detective goggles on.
But remember, we have to be discreet about this. They don't want the news of the bones having gone missing get out.
Be very dangerous, so we need to be very careful and think very carefully before we speak. And obviously, be careful. I know it's very ironic that I'm saying that. But for everybody else's sake, watch each other, please. Hopefully, I don't know if Danica will mind us taking to her supplies, so it might be a good idea to leave a little bit of a tip on the bar, just in case.
I had already intended to leave
Mhm.
some money to pay for the meal.
I would agree, but Aurora, I think you have my gold.
Yes, you gave me the majority of it.
I gave you all my gold.
Well, we could leave a very generous tip then.
Considering she
Yeah.
played doctor with her own table and sullied a lot of her things for my sake, I would also like to leave a generous tip.
Yes is going to get up. He's gonna walk up the stairs. He just wants to put his ear to their door to see if he can hear any movement or anything like that, because it is early in the morning. He just wants to make sure that they're there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, make a perception check for me.
I hope that kid doesn't see any early morning Humblepuff. Love if you fall into the door because it was unlocked when you were trying to hear that was going on.
Yeah, TS. As far as you're aware, you don't hear anything.
You know somebody who can help you find out.
See if the door's locked.
The door is locked.
Alright. I'm just gonna go off the good vibes and say, yep, they're alive. I'm not enlisting. Azazel, that does not happen. Not right now.
Want to. What if they're dead? You don't just know.
Well, we can't fix it then.
Right. We can. We have a healer, but no, you're leaving them behind. You're the evil one, not me.
Yeah, we all head back downstairs. I'm ready to go whenever anyone else is. Or everyone else. Are we still doing the buddy system?
Preferably.
Yes.
Yes. I should likely get dressed before we go.
Of course. Take your
Nah,
time.
people love it. I'm kidding. Go.
Who's gonna be whose buddy?
Well, I know who you want. I'm kidding. Oh my gosh, kid.
Well, from the looks of things, Valdis seems to be doing very well with Austra right now.
Kind of looks to you with a little bit of a flush on his face, like blinks, looks to Austra, and just shrugs.
Yeah, she said it like very matter-of-factly, like there's no, like, she's not mad, she's not sad, she's not teasing, she's just stating a fact of like, well, you seem like at ease with her right now.
Mm.
So if Valdis would like to stay with my sister, then I can stay with Azazel.
It's kind of like looks to TS, like, kind of shrugs his shoulders, like, what do you want to do?
Wait, why are we splitting up?
We're not splitting up in case we do need to split up and somebody needs to go somewhere. They have to have a buddy.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, hold on. This isn't right.
Yeah, buddy system, just to make sure
Oh.
everybody has somebody with them at all times.
Um,
A situation like last night doesn't occur again.
absolutely. In a situation where a fight breaks out, I should not be somebody's buddy because I will disappear. I will be back and I will be with you, but you will not know where I am.
In that case, then Aurora and TS, do you want to go together, and then Azazel can kind of float between the groups?
I don't trust Azazel alone.
Why is
Okay,
that?
would
So
you
yes, do tell.
prefer-
I don't trust you.
Why not? Articulate.
You told me not to.
Beautiful.
Showed no reason why I should.
No. But I just wanted the articulation. Thank you. I appreciate it. That's fine. Aurora, you can still be my partner. I think we should be a no, don't say threesome. I said threesome. We should be a three-party. Sorry. I
Don't
think
say
we should
this.
be
I just said it.
I think TS is a little young for that.
Yeah, I asked. I think we should be a three-person group. Fuck. Nope, that's not it. Good either. We should have three people.
A trio.
Yeah, that's the word.
Yeah, I'm fucking crying.
I'm gonna add it to the fuck. I don't know where it is, but I want to.
No.
Don't say that says it. Uh, but if I'm not trusted, that's fine. We can have a trio.
I'm alright with that.
As am I.
Would you like to be a part of the trio, TS, to keep an eye on me?
Oh,
I'm alright with that.
I figured you would.
If you're not comfortable, TS, I can be the other person in the trio.
I was about to say, we should also probably include Saya.
yeah, I was about to say if we're doing trios, then Saya would have to be with Valdis and Austra.
I'm
I
okay with
honestly
going
thought the reason why we did like a trio and a duo is because I thought we said Saya was gonna stay behind to make
Yeah, but I
sure.
also looked at the
Okay.
time.
So she's
Oh,
probably
okay.
gonna be coming with us.
Okay, cool. Well, then we can go back to duos.
I'm okay with 2 groups of 3.
Okay.
I don't trust Zazel.
As long as nobody is going off by themselves alone, unless needed, points to the rogue.
Unless it's a
Finger
Zazel.
guns.
Zazel
Unless the person you don't want to be alone needs to be alone.
This is more
That's the
for
person
combat reasons.
I need to be stealthy out of combat as well, thank you.
No, you don't.
I
Rogues don't need
do.
to be stealthy.
You're right. What am I?
That's what swashbucklers are for.
Exactly.
I miss motherfuckers. Such a better class or team. But no, it's fine. So I mean, it's up to you. I could also leave if that's people prefer. I can stay here. I can whatever makes all of you more comfortable around me. As I figured last night did poke some feathers. That's not a saying, but it did
Ruffle some
something.
feathers is what you're looking
That's it. Thank you.
Personally, I was a little out of commission, so I only have prior experience to go on. None of us really know each other very well, I should say. We're on the friendly acquaintance level of getting to know everybody, so a little bit of trepidation is needed sometimes. Just be wary and be careful. And don't go off on your own unless it is absolutely needed. Please. I'm also going to stick by that rule, as much as I hate it, but it's better that everybody is safe.
I may need practice with this rule, but I'm willing to attempt.
Just don't die. Just gives you a strained smile and a thumbs up.
I value the life like no other. So that is the ultimate goal. But off to where are we going?
Church.
To
Church? Ew. I mean, yeah, off to church.
And
That's
this is why
exactly
Mila-
where we want to go.
We need to talk to Milabutch.
Sounds like a person who goes to church.
I mean, Saya knows the way because she went before.
You go to church? Oh wait, you're religious. Never mind. Sorry, continue. Wait, you're not really. Are you really?
Are you looking at Sarah and asking that?
Yep. Yep.
She looks at you and goes, I am not religious, but I knew that the spell that I needed can potentially be cast by a holy person.
Nerd. Okay. Shall we?
I just need to get dressed first.
Oh, nah. Sure, go ahead.
Make sure everybody is all right. Get your gear, get extra food, get extra water, whatever you need. Just meet back here. Once
Yeah.
everybody is here, we can leave.
I didn't think you were going to say yes to that.
DM, can we say that we cleaned the kitchen as we went?
Please.
I
I would
don't
feel
wanna-
so bad.
Yeah,
That
I
would
don't
be
want to
a
leave
mess.
Danica with all that mess.
I could just imagine Danica coming down, just an absolutely wrecked kitchen, and then there's one cup that is
No.
bloodstains, and it's like, what the fuck happened here?
No.
Oh, no, it's the other way around.
absolutely
The
not.
kitchen is an absolute wreck, and then everything else is absolutely pristine.
I would like it all to be pristine.
Please.
Yeah?
While everybody else is getting ready, Val and Austra just fucking deep clean the kitchen.
I made sure to clean that cup like 3 or 4 times.
Put it in vinegar.
It's not enough.
It'll never be enough.
It's just that one cup that just has this distinct smell of iron.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
But other than the fact that like she's an ice, so I don't know if that also kind of changes the blood a little bit.
I don't know. We'll find out.
This distinct smell of sulfur. Wait a second.
Why am I going up in flames?
Listen, I know I'm sinful, but I didn't think I was that sinful.
Oh, you bad to the bone.
Right, so we
Coming
clean the
from the
kitchen, get armor on, and get suited and booted.
Mm-hmm.
Leave a nice tip for the lovely bar people.
With a little bit of a note like, thank you so much. I'm so sorry for bleeding everywhere. We made breakfast, but here's money to pay for it. We love you, bye.
Oh, could we have left some pancakes for them as well?
Cold pancakes out in the... No.
Just wrap it up. Put a kitchen towel around it.
Yeah.
So that they can heat it up back on the skillet.
I'm fine.
These are NPCs, and we're like, no, we gotta clean, we gotta tip them, and we gotta leave a breakfast.
Listen, they've been so nice to us.
I
They've been so
know.
nice.
Yeah,
I know. I'm just saying that, like, I love.
Austra. Aurora was literally thinking like a 10 gold tip, like 6 gold per like 1 gold per person, and then like several gold for extra.
I was thinking more like 20 because also like the food stuff that we've taken.
Okay. I can subtract 20.
Okay, we leave them a 20 gold tip.
Let's just hope nobody fucking steals it before they come down.
No, I think we like hide it in the kitchen because nobody goes into the kitchen ever.
So they
No, so
can't
we
find
can-
it?
I was gonna say
No.
we can leave it on the table where Valdis was.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh,
Leave everything there and just very neat, very, very cute little setup. Like, thank you so much.
So we leave 20 gold pieces and a thank you note. Got it.
Yep. And as a side note, the gold piece that she won from Azazel was not one of the ones that was that made it into that.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. So as you continue on, heading through the town, you can see that the bustle for the carnival is getting more and more. There's definitely something going on in the air, like you can feel the wind up coming, as bad as it sounds. Not in a menacing way, not in any way that would raise your hackles, but there's definitely that moment of, okay, like I can feel it, I can sense it. You know, there's something going on. And as you head to the church, we will leave it there for today's episode. I think that's good timing, but also it lets Saya interact with the NPCs that she technically dragged into your orbit.
Exactly. This was my plan the entire time.
Of course, yeah, totally.
Right.
But thank you everyone so much for watching. You can either watch us live on Friday 7 p.m. EST, or you can watch the VODs on Tuesdays on YouTube. Same name, same channel. But other than that, all we have left to say is thank you. And good night.
Good
Bye.
night.
Good night.